Anzac Day is approaching us, and there's
Mm,
always new stories to be discovered about Australia's history in wartime conflict and just Australia's history as a nation itself. There's
mm.
a new story coming to Bundaberg. It's called A Girl's Guide to World War. And we've got the author of this production with us today. Katie, lovely to talk to you. Let's talk Girl's Guide to World War. Tell us a little
Let's
bit about
do
the
it.
story.
Well, it's quite a magical story that we uncovered quite by accident. So during World War One, if you were a lady doctor, you weren't allowed to join the army. And there were lady doctors all around the world who were dying to get across to the front line and do their bit, to help out. And they weren't allowed to. And so a group of powerful women got together, raised funds, and sent lady doctors to the front line. And what's so amazing about this is that the very first woman-run frontline hospital was actually headed up by an Australian lady doctor called Dr. Agnes Bennett, and the chief surgeon was Queensland's first female doctor, Dr. Lillian Cooper. So it was an Australian-run women's hospital on the front line. So I'm very proud of us, proud of Australian women for leading the way.
Well, we'll get into more of the synopsis of the story shortly, but how did you stumble across the story originally, Katie?
It really was a stumble. So my partner Alethea and I were walking down George Street in Brisbane. We were walking past these beautiful old buildings called the Mansions, and we saw a little plaque outside that said Queensland's first female doctor lived here, and it was Dr. Lillian Cooper. And so, we went home and we started Googling, and that's when the obsession started because we found out that Dr. Lillian Cooper was what you would call a character. She did not care what anyone thought of her. So we're talking 1891 is when she and her partner Josephine Bedford arrived in Queensland, and she became Queensland's first female doctor. And she would smoke, she would swear, she would sit with her legs apart, she would, she would speed. She was the first woman in Queensland to drive a car. She was actually a founding member of the RACQ. She became a surgeon as well, which is something quite phenomenal because even though, women doctors were grudgingly allowed to work with women and children and to do general practice, to do surgery was something quite phenomenal. But Dr. Lillian Cooper didn't allow that to stop her, and she managed to become a surgeon and is the first woman enrolled in the Royal College of Surgeons in Australia.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible. And
Go
from
Queensland.
that and your research, you've developed up. Well, it's not just a play; it's a musical theatre production. So you've written your own musical based
That's
on
right.
the work of a doctor who was quite rogue and
Yeah.
out there for her time.
That's exactly right. So my partner and I, we just love musicals, and it always had to be a musical. Musicals just allow you to explore the passion and excitement of life, and we love that about musicals. We love that, the songs come out of that moments of inspiration, moments of love, moments of fear, moments of passion, and this musical takes place during this time on the front line in this frontline hospital that these women were running, and so there's every opportunity to explore the full gamut of human emotion through music.
Wow, that's incredible. And you're right. Yeah, music theatre does offer you some way of doing things that you can't do in a straight play, doesn't it?
Oh, I 100% agree. I know every time that I see a music any musical, I walk out, I think about 10 feet off the ground. I just feel so inspired and uplifted, and I hope that's how people will feel after seeing our musical. I know that it's set during war, but it's not a sad musical. It is very much an uplifting musical because these women, they were so compassionate, so kind, so brilliant, and they worked together to achieve something so wonderful. There's a lot of love and kindness in this show, as well as a lot of humour, because these women were so original. You know, these women left behind their safe lives back in Australia and went and lived in tents in the mud. They could hear the bombs and they could hear the gunshots. There were bombs falling around them while they were doing surgery, but they kept this spirit of compassion and friendship, and that's what I think. If you're walking out of a Girls Guide at the end of the show, I feel that you would be feeling uplifted and inspired and excited about what you can achieve in your life.
Now, obviously, a brand new music theatre production, and instead of us coming to you, you've taken a different angle and you're taking this out to regional Queensland. Why is that, Katie?
Oh, this is something we feel very strongly about. We're regional Queenslanders as well, and it is hard to get to a city centre and see a musical. So, there's an interesting statistic that shows that Queenslanders love musicals more than any other art form, and I know that I fall into that category. And so we love musicals, and we know other Queenslanders love musicals too. And as regional theatre makers, we feel very strongly about trying to bring musical theatre out to the regions, which is why we're so excited about bringing this show to, we're bringing it to Gladstone, Maryborough, Bundaberg, and and yes, it's something that we hope to continue through the rest of our working life, is bringing musicals to the regions.
Well, I, for one, am also a very big fan of music theatre, as we've already discussed off air earlier.
Yes.
But it's great to know that we've got these productions coming into the regions where we can come and see it in the comfort of our own region at a cost that is a great cost, without having to spend heaps of money to go and see it in the southeast corner like everything else. Katie, thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing you arrive in Bundaberg this weekend. Little plug for you. Let's hear where, when, and what time.
Yes, so it is this Saturday. So that is the 5th, and it is at the Moncrieff Theatre, and it is at 7:30 p.m. Yes, if you want to buy tickets, just head over to Moncrieff website, and we hope to see you there.